Yes, people, and welcome back to Normski TV and the What's Going On podcast. Good to have you back. Please hit that like button, subscribe, and share if you are new on the road to 300. And thank you for those people that have subscribed in the last couple of days. We have got a lot to talk about. What a weekend of football. Arsenal getting the monkey finally off their back. Man United, Max Sauce and Maguire, saviour of Eric Ten Hag. Chelsea starting to find their shooting boots, doing well. I think that's 3 games on the bounce now that they've won in the Premier League, or 3 games on the bounce. I think 2 on the bounce in the Premier League and Carabao Cup. So they start to find a little bit of form. Liverpool drawing at the weekend, and obviously who was it? Spurs down to 10 men. But somehow, lucky Spurs coming from behind. Now, I don't know whether Chile's going to be on tonight. When I last looked, he looked like he was still out in the cotton fields working hard. Ez is not going to be with us tonight. Kofi's not going to be with us tonight. Big, massive happy anniversary to JP, who's celebrating his anniversary. So big up to you, JP. Happy anniversary to you. Couldn't make the show tonight. And I would advise you to come on the show if it is your anniversary. So big up to you. Hopefully, Chile may join us a bit later. I want to try and get the show done at least after 8 o'clock. You know, we'll see how we go, but because I've got another meeting at 8:30. So there is a lot to talk about. And first of all, let me just bring in Mr. Big D. What are you saying, brother?
Yeah, not bad, mate. Not bad.
Ooh, you sound
technical issues while we're a bit late today, guys.
Yeah, with the technical issues. If you could just let us know in the chat, can you hear Big D okay? And obviously, can you hear me okay? And if so, just give us a thumbs up in the chat just to say, yeah, you can hear us clear. But big up to all of you. And let me just first of all,
just we're not muffled.
Mr. Calvin, we saying, man, Tottenham supporter. Apprentice finally beats the master. No Saka, no KDB, no Gundogan, no Gon. Kovacic. Iffy, I'm not too sure what that is, what he was trying to say there, but I'll work out in a minute. Basuma was silly against Luton. Yeah, we know that. And yeah, big up to you, man. Salute to you, Mr. Sentiments there.
The sentiments big on the
and yeah, he's saying that you can hear the sound good. That's all good. That's all good.
Okay.
So yeah, listen, people. There's a lot to talk about this week. But before I go into any kind of when it comes to the content, what we're going to be talking about tonight, well, first of all, ask you, Mr. D, how are you doing, sir?
Yeah, not too bad, matey. Not too bad. Yeah, the week is going at a decent pace for a change. Normally, it's just way too quick, but it feels like it's at a good pace this week. So
yeah, okay, cool.
Yeah, no complaints. I had a good weekend, short weekend, a work weekend, unfortunately, but yeah. That happens every now and again where you get about 24 hours off and that's it. So,
no rest, man. No rest for us.
Yeah.
No rest for us.
Yeah.
Well, that's all good to hear. That's all good to hear. And yeah, listen, international break is here as well. So more international breaks. You know what I mean? After getting that win against Man City, I'd love to have gone on and now played Chelsea, you know what I mean? But we have a 2-week break. And obviously, number of players will be going off to represent their various countries, flying all over the world. And bro, I mean, just before we go into tonight's content, let's just quickly talk about this international break. And you know, I'm sure we've got another one in November, if my memory serves right. You know, we've got a lucky enough, both our games are going to be over here. We've got a home game friendly against Australia. Thank God for that. We're not traveling around halfway around the world. And then we've got a game against Italy, which is the next week. So yeah, it's one of those things. But it always happens. You know, big up to you, Craig. What are you saying, brother?
Yes, Craig, big up yourself, bro. Yeah, no, I'm not here for it, man. We have way too many injuries to have an international break right now.
Yeah.
You know, and just the timing's awful.
Yeah.
To me, the timing's awful. But you know what? I guess that the international team's got to get together and do some work together. So I don't mind it, but I just think right now the timing's awful because I really wanted, for me, I wanted Ten Hag to have to play another game straight after that mess at the weekend to see whether he's on fraud watch or not. Now he's got 2 weeks.
Reprieve, mate. We're going to go into that. He's got a bit of a reprieve. Got a bit of a reprieve from the McSauce and Maguire, mate. You know what I mean? The two unlikeliest people.
Because he wanted them two out the door.
Yeah.
And they're the two saving his bacon. So, I'm just not too impressed about that. But I get it. They've got to be played, whether they're for the World Cup qualifiers or they're just for when he wants to work with the team. And with England, I mean, obviously I'm not an England thing, but with England, he's picking players that he knows how they play, rather than looking at that for fresh blood.
I mean, I've still got a bit of a bone to pick with him concerning Sterling, because he's starting to find a bit of form, and yet he's picking Nketiah to go
over Sterling,
which I don't get. I don't know what's going on there.
He's been a good England servant. He's been a very good servant for England.
Absolutely. I don't know what he's done. I don't know if there's been some sort of falling out or what. I have no idea.
He's not showing him the same grace as he's showing Calvin Phillips and Harry Maguire. You know what I'm saying? Who haven't been playing for their teams. Yeah. Sterling has been playing. You know, you look at it and you just say, this manager, man, I ain't got time for this manager.
Yeah. No, but I'm like, you look and I'm glad in one sense that, because obviously Saka had to go for an assessment with the England medical team, and obviously they ruled him out. So I'm kind of glad about that, because obviously playing 87 consecutive games in the Premier League, it was about time he had a bit of a rest. You know what I mean? And I just don't see the point, as Craig said earlier on, having these friendlies, and they're pointless, mate. You know what I mean? Just absolutely pointless.
But this is my thing: is that Arsenal Football Club plays Saka's wages. Now, if your doctor says he's not good to go, he shouldn't have to go to England for an assessment from their doctor. England don't pay his wages.
Exactly. Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, we got William Saliba. William Saliba's obviously got a bit of a toe injury, but I'm sure he will recover that in the next 10 days or so. Obviously, Trossard picked up a bit of a muscle injury. I don't know if it's to do with his hamstring, so he won't be going off to Belgium. So we've got a number of players that are going to be rested, which I'm really glad for. Absolutely glad for. You know what I mean? Yeah, big up to you, Static Man. Big up to you, bro. Yeah, I saw that you liked my my Insta post. Yeah, man. My man got bodied. Today. He got bodied. Yeah. Mr. Robot. Yeah. What you saying to me now? Hey, big man, what you saying? Anyway, we'll come back to that, yeah? We'll come back to that, bro. We'll come back to that. But yeah, big up to you, Static, man. Yeah, 87 games. What's wrong with Arteta? Look, some people will say, I was watching a pod today with Campbell, and who great servant for Arsenal, Kevin Campbell, and he was saying, listen, Saka's what? 22. Yeah. And I know, I get it. I get it. You know, we're looking at him thinking, the games that we've seen him in, where he just looks completely running to the ground. Yeah. And I'm thinking to myself, come on, you know, and the problem is because Arteta didn't address that side and go and get somebody. It's no point giving, as I keep saying, you know, I sound like a scratch record. You know, you go and give Reece Nelson £100,000 a week, 4-year contract, but you don't trust him to play there. Yeah.
I was about to say, isn't he supposed to be the right?
Well, he's not really. He really plays on the left. Yeah, he really plays on the left, right? He really plays on the left. But yeah, why doesn't he trust him to play? Because what I find with Arsenal and the way we play, apart from Martinelli, who done a fantastic job at the weekend, we haven't got anybody that's we lacked pace, you know, at the start of that game. You know what I mean? With Martinelli off the pitch, Saka off the pitch, we did lack pace and where, you know, we got players that can run directly at other players, opposite players. Now the thing is, Saka will tend to cut back inside, whereas Martinelli will go on the outside and just go at you. Now, Reece Nelson's kind of like that, but Reece Nelson's really more plays on the left-hand side. He can play over the right, but he's better over the left. But I do think that we needed to have gone out in the summer and got somebody as a backup or somebody of the same level as Saka. Now, if we could get that Neto guy from Wolves, getting another, I think he got an assist at the weekend, if my memory serves me right. It was ended up being a draw, Wolves and Aston Villa, but I would love to get him in the side. You know, you're probably looking at about 60. He's an Arsenal supporter. Yeah. You know, 60. You're probably looking at about 60 mil. But I'd love him in my side as a backup because we do need strength and depth. Do you know what I'm saying? Absolutely need strength and depth. So I'm kind of glad going into this international break that we haven't got most of our key players going away. Obviously, Gabriel he's gone off to play for Brazil, but you know our core players are still with us at the club. You know what I mean? And I say for your side as well. Say that again. Do you know what? I don't know. I don't hear anybody in the chat. Did Jesus?
Yeah, because I
can't remember because I know he's missed out on a couple of times. So I don't know whether that's the case. You know what I mean? So I don't know. England and Arsenal run parallel. Favourites, mates, rates, neither will progress operating in this. Saliba had him in lockdown, bro. In lockdown. We're going to be talking about that. Yeah, man. Absolutely. XG. 0 XG, bro. It's 0 XG.
Yeah, but you have to look at that, Norm, in a sense of he wasn't getting no service.
Yeah, so, I get that. And that's the problem and that's why I don't think Ireland, he's a fantastic goal scorer.
Yeah.
He's as an all-round footballer, his touch ain't that brilliant. And he's not like a Harry Kane.
Yeah, and I just was about to say, Pep needs to teach him that when he hasn't got your KDBs and stuff, that to drop deep and try and create for yourself.
Yeah, he was getting frustrated. He was
like he was in Winter Wonderland, no.
Yeah,
it was like he was in Winter Wonderland for the whole game, just strolling about because you could see how frustrated he was because he just wasn't getting service. But then you look at that and you say that's Pep's job. Like you don't let Mahrez and Gundogan leave at the same time. That's retarded. Because you knew that Kevin De Bruyne has become injury prone. Pep knew that from 2 seasons ago.
Yeah.
Yet you let both of these two creators go.
So, I believe De Bruyne is having an operation on his hamstring, so that doesn't really bode well because once he start having operations on your hamstring, if that goes again, do you know what I mean? He's not getting any younger. He's not getting any younger either. And
even when you look at the replacements. Because you have to remember, he has Jack on a tight leash, so Jack is not Aston Villa Jack where he was creating and scoring. He's
big up Geese, right? What you saying, bro?
Yeah, what he is now is Pep's. He's Pep's machine. You stay wide. You do this. You create the triangles. Where he was given a free roll at Villa. This is why Pep. Well, this is why I thought Pep bought him because of his Villa form.
Yeah.
At Man City, you don't see any of that from Grealish. So, yeah, man, if Pep don't win the title this year, then it's on him. Because he should have kept at least one of those creators knowing what KDB is fitness-wise with the injuries. Because we saw that for the 2 seasons and they got away with it when he'd been injured. But now, I mean, it's 3 games on the bounce.
Well, you know, question there, D. From Craig says, if Man City don't have Rodri, KDB, Stones in their team, I don't think they will win the league. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, I would.
Yeah, I mean they've considerably weakened themselves. Okay, obviously you've got injuries with KDB and Stones. Obviously Stones is just coming back. Rodri obviously missing because of
he got sent off, didn't he?
Yeah, Rodri got so he's back. When he comes back after the international break, he will be back. So he was suspended for 3 games for strangling, so-called strangle. But
you look at it, the depth what he's got in depth is not the quality of a Mahrez or a Gundogan.
Yeah.
I mean, for me, I'm keeping Gundogan.
Yeah.
Like, if you give me a choice, one of them got to go.
Clutch player, man. Clutch player. Look what he did last season.
Yeah, I'm keeping Gundogan.
Absolutely.
I was shocked. Now, people are saying that Gundogan wanted out. He was kind of done with the Pep intensity.
Yeah.
So if you wanted out, then fair enough, you can't keep it. Then you persuade Mahrez to not go Saudi, stay put, and we'll look after you. Give me 2 more seasons. Because he is a problem on the right. Mahrez is a problem on the right. So I don't get his train of thought to get rid of 2.
And I think because obviously they were going to let go of Bernard Silva as well. Exactly. He was looking to go to I believe Barcelona, or if not Barcelona, probably I mean, but they Pep said no, we've got to keep this guy because he's integral to the team. If he lost them, I think, mate, this wouldn't be a same City side. And to be honest, listen, when Pep does eventually leave City, there will be a drop in terms of their quality. Do you know what I mean? And you know what I mean, because it's the Pep style of play. Do you know what I mean? At the end of the day.
If you look at the good managers, they've always known how to rebuild, even if they rebuild over 2 summers. You know, and you sort of think, okay, this one's surplus to requirement, and you find that when they haven't rebuilt properly, you immediately see the failure. And I'm looking at that with City and saying, what was he thinking here? And maybe in his mind, we just done the treble. Yeah, but he did a treble with them guys. You know what I'm saying? It's
I mean, a lot of the pundits now are saying is there hangover with them doing the treble, and you know what I mean? Have they kind of
if you think about it, Norm, just mentally to keep going, to keep churning out them results. Because if you look at it, City haven't started poorly.
No, they haven't. They won their first 6 games in a row.
And normally they don't start this good.
No, they don't. They normally start off slow, and then they pick up towards the end. Now, look, City are a fantastic team. Let's not take that away from them. They are a fantastic team. But sometimes, I mean, we will come to that game when the Arsenal game. We will come to that when we're looking at the Premier League fixtures and the review. We will come to that. But yeah, the thing about Man City, some people are even saying, is it a one-man team? Because with Rodri at the side, do you know what I mean? They didn't have that kind of control. But, it's something that we will pick up a bit later when we come to assess our game at the weekend. Just going back to what Static's saying there, says Grealish has been severely restricted at Man City. I miss his free role. Listen, when he was playing for Villa, mate, he was the main man.
And that's what I'm saying.
Yeah. But Pep is very much like that, because when Henry went to Barcelona, you had to play within the Pep system.
Yeah,
if you deviated from that,
you bench him.
You're being benched, brother.
And look how often he benches Grealish.
Exactly.
The one with Grealish
he sat on the bench. It took him about a year to understand what Pep wanted. Do you know what I mean? And you pay 100 million for a guy to be sitting on the bench.
But that's the thing. I think that's the arrogance of Pep, don't know. You know what I mean? Because I don't think any of our clubs could afford the luxury of spending that kind of money on him and say, just hold bench until I think you've figured it out. You know what I mean? It wouldn't happen. Just because of the money. I mean, I'm going to say Jack's on maybe 250 a week or thereabouts, and it costs 100 mil, and you bench him. What? Makes no sense.
Yeah, it makes no sense, but I understand why he's doing it, because you know what I mean? Because the thing is, when you have to be, when you're playing in the Pep system, and to a degree with Arsenal, you have to be disciplined. Yeah, he doesn't allow you to have a free role. You know what I mean? It's not free playing football. You play within a system that works. Do you know what I'm trying to say? So he's not going to allow, if he says, I want you to stay out wide, you make sure you stay out wide, yeah? If I want you to take on the player, you take on the player. If I tell you you're cutting, you cut in. So, Pep, if you don't do them, follow them instructions, you're going to find the bench, you understand?
Yeah, and I look at it, and then I say to myself, why sign a Grealish? Why even sign him? You know what I mean? Like, Grealish would have been better off going to Liverpool or somewhere like that.
Yeah.
Do you guys? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You look at certain things and say, this guy had mad GA for Villa, and then now you just want to contain him into this triangle role, stay as wide as you can, and don't do anything exciting unless I tell you to.
But you know what, though, D? As much as we say we're not, he's not allowed to do that. But listen, the man's got a treble.
He got a treble, exactly.
He ain't.
As much as us missing his creativity, like he's got a treble out of it. He was never going to win a treble at Aston Villa.
I mean,
you know,
a lot of people are looking at the way Arsenal have started this season. We're actually, I think, a point better off
than
we was last season. Now, the way we've been playing, you look at the eye and you think, bro, we're not fluid, man. We don't look fluid at all. We're joint top. We're joint top. It's only because they've scored more goals than us. Yeah? We're the only two teams that have not lost. We're unbeaten in the league right now. Yeah. And look at the way we've started.
Yeah, and then the shame Chile's not here, because even with Tottenham, I'm sure even Chile wouldn't have imagined a start like this under a new manager that needed to get in. And so you look at that and say, right, this guy's coming, like, and not only that, lost his talisman and goes into this international break top of the league. So you've got to look at that and say, fair play to you, because he's got to get his feet under the table.
You know, Expressions is loving this right now. Expressions is shameless, man. He's shameless. I mean, what's his street, man? He done an upper log. He did an upper log for the Arsenal Man City game, and he was like, "Bro, you know, I don't know if I want Arsenal to win, but then if they win, we still stay top of the league. If we draw, we stay top of the league. But bro." He's a bit like Chile, because Chile swings one way, he swings the other way when it comes to City. You understand? He's glory at this. But no. I joke, especially I joke. So I know if you come for me, I'm finished, brother. So let me just keep it cordial. You understand? Let me just keep it cordial. But
he was in his show with his brother yesterday, with Rants, and he was so hyped. He was as they say, on the smoke. You know what I mean? But it's
definitely. I mean, I think Henry was giving an account of one game he played, and Pep told him to stay out wide, and he decided to pick up the ball and dribble and cut inside. And I think he either set up the goal or he scored. I can't remember.
I think he scored.
Yeah, he scored. You know what Pep did?
Took him off, innit?
Said, "Yo, come off. Come off. What did I tell you? I don't care if you scored a goal. I told you to stay out wide."
He said the team were looking at him going, "What? Just scored me." Pep said, no, you're upsetting the flow of the team by what you just did, even though you scored. And that's how rigid he is in his mentality, that you can't chat to man. He's just going to tell you, sit down, I just want a treble. You know what I mean? And I've just done back-to-back Premier Leagues or whatever. Whoa, no, three-peat. He just three-peated as well. It's hard to chat to him and say, Pep, what are you doing?
But,
you know, if he ends up empty-handed, I think you'll look at what the business they did in the summer, because it's hard to do good business in January, as you know, Norman. So you look at his business in the summer, and he'll probably just think, nah, man, I messed up, and he won't admit that he messed up either. He'll find a way not to say it was him, you know. Because if you look at it now, Norman, if Tottenham stay healthy with no Champions League and they've only got the FA Cup to be in, then
the only problem with Tottenham, the only problem with Tottenham is that they have got a paper thin side in terms of their first 11 to 13 are okay, but if you lose Basuma, if you lose Madison, if you lose that defender, the new defender they got, if they lose him. So as much as it's a long season, I get that. But obviously, you know, when you go through the winter months and the old hamstrings start to go, muscle injuries and all that, for them, they really need to probably, if they're still near the top or within touching distance or whatever, maybe go and bolster in January. Do you know what I mean? That's something that we need to do as well.
The thing is, if I'm Daniel Levy and I get to Christmas and I'm still going toe to toe with Arsenal and Man City, I'm actually going to gamble and spend some money in January.
100%. And this is the failure with Arsenal, because when we spent 93% of the time at the top of the league, and we didn't do all right. We got Trossard in, but then we ended up getting was it Jorginho?
Yeah, Jorginho.
And Kivio. But that wasn't enough to win us the league. Do you understand what I'm saying? And then with injuries to Saliba and this mentality, that we didn't have that, and obviously that was a downfall of Arsenal basically falling away with the last, say, 7 or 8 games. Do you know what I mean? And then Man City looked like they comfortably won it. But listen, we've started off slow. Yeah, we're not as silky. We're not playing that fluid football. But we're unbeaten. I think we've conceded the least amount of goals. We've got the best defensive record right now as it stands in the league. We've only conceded 6 goals. So
and that's the goalkeeper as well.
Exactly, and we're hard to beat. And I'll tell you what, I got some butterflies with Ray on Sunday, sorry, man.
Yeah,
bro, he was doing an anana, mate. He was doing an anana.
Leave Andre alone, mate.
We'll come to that. Let's see what's else is in the chat here. All right, brilliant defensive performance against Man City. We turned it to George Graham Arsenal, reducing this Man City to 4 shots. Fair play, but this is just the beginning. I want this in every game. Absolutely, Craig. Absolutely bang on. Listen, this is the worst stat that a Pep side has had. I think you're going back to 2010, where they were restricted to 4 shots and only 1 on target, mate. So it showed that Arsenal did a job on there. And a lot of people were saying, "Oh, it's a deflected goal. It's lucky deflected goal." No, mate. I think. First half, we was a little bit nervy. I might as well just talk about our game then. First half, we was a little bit nervy. And let me just share the fixtures of the Sunday fixtures. We can probably kind of work backwards. I think that's what's probably we're gonna do. But the first half was a little bit nervy. Right, the first half was a little bit nervy. So I've gone to the wrong one. I'm looking at the wrong one, aren't I? I'm looking at the right one. Is it this one? No, that is the right one, isn't it? Yeah, that is the right one. Yeah, so the first half was a little bit nervy. We started to slowly come into the game. But Raya, mate, he was giving me palpitations, D.
Yeah.
Bro, he's kicking.
You'll get that with those kind of goalkeepers.
Yeah,
and even like our guy, people are saying this is a Barthez settings. He's in Barthez settings. Remember when Barthez was at United, and every time he did something, you were just like, Lord of mercy. Like you were just glad that he got hold of the ball, or it's funny because goalkeepers in general, they're just eccentric anyway.
Yeah.
So you got to take whatever you got to take. The good and the bad with them. And sometimes when it's too bad, then you just say, I want it gone. I mean, people are saying they want our guy gone. I mean, there's rumours that Ramsdale was looking elsewhere as well now. I was hearing that Ramsdale.
Yeah, I know Cal was just come up here and say, listen, at the moment, bro, it's a dog eat world out there, bro. And listen, it looks like Arteta is quite ruthless because he did it with Leno when Ramsdale came in. Leno was our number 1. And then when a few games, Leno was on the bench. And Ramsdale was our number 1. And then, obviously,
Leno, he moved on. He went to
he went to Fulham. Yeah, he went to Fulham.
Yeah, and he's number 1 minute. So
this whole thing of having 2 number 1s, 2 good goalkeepers, it ain't gonna work. It ain't gonna work. And as much as Ramsdale say, I'm gonna fight for my place and whatnot. You can see every time, if Raya makes a good save or if he does something dodgy, what happens? The Sky cameras pan over to him. They did it again on Sunday, and like a lot of people say, because as I said, the first half, mate, there was one ball he played out. I think he tried to play out. I can't remember who he played it out to, mate. And I was thinking, oh my gosh, he played it to the City player. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But as the game went on, especially the second half, his kicking got better. But I do really think that he will be our number 1 because I think Arteta prefers the style of football that what Arteta wants. He wants a goalkeeper that can play like that's calm on the ball. I think, as Craig said, with Raya, what suited us is that we slowed the game down. We wasn't playing at a fast pace. We played at our own pace. And that kind of frustrated Man City. We kept them really narrow as well. And I was watching the game. Me and my son was watching the game and my daughter. I was thinking, why Man City coming down the middle? Was it because we forced them down the middle? Because they weren't getting normally they would get the balls out wide to Walker, do you know what I mean? Or whoever's playing on the left-hand side. But for some reason, they were trying to go down the middle. Now, Pep's come out and said, obviously, with Rodri not being there, where they will play it through the lines and progress it through the lines, they say they needed Bernard Silva and that Rico guy, Williams. I think, is it Rico Williams? For Man City. Rico Lewis. To protect the ball. That's what he was saying. But it obviously backfired on him. we was pressing them. We didn't give them no time. We didn't give them no space, so they weren't able to play, out through the back as they would like to. And a lot of their possession, the possession was like 51-49. So you know what I mean. And they had maybe about 100 passes more than us, but most of their passes was in their half. We actually had more touches in their box than they did in our box. I think, you know what I mean? We outweighed them by a lot. And I think I said to my son, listen, this game is going to be decided by one goal. Yeah? And lo and behold, the 4 subs that come on, Partey, Martinelli, the one with the winner, who unfortunately, deflection of Aki's face. You know what I mean? Havertz, and what was Tomiyasu doing in the middle of the box, ending that down? Do you know what I mean? So, in the 86th minute, we get that win, and our house, mate, I don't know what the neighbours were saying, mate. We was making up some noise. And I had a nice visitor, Mr. Simon. Simon come down as well, Liverpool player. He said, can I come and watch the game? And I said, yo, because the last time you came and watched the game with us, I'm sure we won it. So I said, you need to come more often. So absolutely fantastic second half in terms of we just kept going, and we looked like the more likely ones to score.
Yeah.
And then there was a little bit of after argy-bargy with the set piece coach. I think he went to shake Walker's hand, and you can see that we've got them rattled now. We've got Man City rattled now. And I think, the sort of rivalry that we was to have with you back in the day?
Yeah, for sure.
I think now we're getting a rivalry, because before Pep would just to come up to Arteta and tap him on his head, and you know what I mean? But now, the Apprentice has beaten the master at last. And we've got that monkey off our back now. Do you know what I mean?
And what you have to hope is that he doesn't start overthinking games. Now he's done that. You know what I mean? Especially the big games. Because you see that and Pep does it as well. He does in Champions League. They get to a certain part, and then you start tinkering when there's no need to. So it's going to be interesting to see if Arteta doesn't just stays focused rather than overthinks the lineup, shoehorning players in, all these sort of things. This is what managers tend to do when they get over a hurdle that's kind of had them held back. So you hope that he doesn't do that, Norm. You know? Yeah. And then, you know what I mean? Because, like, it'd be interesting if you and Tottenham, like, just kind of get some breathing space and go, because I think I know.
Well, I'll tell you what, D. Listen, we was 8 points clear of Man City, and it still didn't help us. I think what's interesting this season that there's going to be a lot more people with that's going to be in the title race. I'll put Liverpool right up there at the moment.
Oh yeah, Liverpool.
Because they've got the strike force. Do you know what I mean? They've got the midfield. Obviously, their defense, as you can see, against Brighton. Yeah. Brighton. I think Brighton went 1-0 up in that game, and then Liverpool turned it around. But then a lapse of concentration. They come away with that game. Drawing that game 2-2. Do you know what I mean? But we'll come to the game
I was saying that to Kofi that he's going to find this season that Liverpool will have a lot of hockey scores, a lot of 4-3s and 4-2 games, because they are top heavy and they're leaky, so they'll try and shoot their way to a result. Yeah. So you're going to find some high scoring games with them. Yeah. Yeah, for sure. Yeah. So.
But yeah, no. But yeah. So just finishing off. With our game. I just want to sort of touch on, obviously part of our show, we always look at how the refs manage the game and how VAR. Yeah. Now, in that game, how on earth is Kovacic not sent off? How on earth? Yeah. Okay. So he got a yellow card. He got a yellow card for the first tackle on Odegaard, which was an ankle breaker. Yeah. That's no different to what happened last week. Yeah. Yeah. How on earth is that a yellow card?
This is the problem, though. Is that a certain profile of player, i.e. a Casemiro. Who else is like a Casemiro?
What, that sort of
that kind of profile player is getting a straight red. They are. Yeah. This is what I don't like about Pierre.
McTominay, he's a bit rash.
Even back in the day when we had Fred, if Fred left a tackle like that,
yeah, that's right. Yeah.
And this is what I don't like. And maybe the magnitude of the game, like first versus second from last season, the referee probably in his mind said, I don't want people to put that game on me if Arsenal won and City lost or vice versa. So I think he probably saw it, and that's where you get another VAR, because VAR should have been straight in his ear and say, you got to go look at that.
Yep.
But here we are. You know, so I think.
But D, you said it. You said it at the start of the season when you had that situation with Onana and the Wolves game, where I personally think he should have got sent off. You saw it different, but at the end of the day, you said VAR will listen. We've seen it. I was listening to the hour
when they feel like it, and that's not for me. That's not the idea of VAR. And then you saw that it's a huge game, and it's almost like VAR just kept quiet, saying, "Oh, well, leave that one on the ref," which is out of order. He should have gone to the screen.
So correct me if I'm wrong. If anybody can tell me in the chat now.
Yeah.
I heard something. I don't know where I heard it. If it was today or yesterday, where Howard Webb was saying that in that game yesterday, when that tackle was made on Odegaard, I think Oliver, what's the name, was the referee, I think, and he basically said that he didn't want to. What was the word he used? I'm trying to find the word. He didn't want to. What was the word he used? I can't remember, but like if you come to a party and then you sort of come and mess it all up, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
almost to the point where you become the party pooper, yeah. But that wasn't the exact words he used, but something to that effect. In other words, so I'm thinking, but hang on a minute, you either working to the rules or you're not. If it's a red card, it's a red card.
It doesn't matter if Man City had lost 2 players in that game.
Exactly.
The rules are the rules.
Because look at the situation with Liverpool last week. Exactly. With Tottenham. Yeah. The first tackle, which wasn't even a foul, and he was quick to then second one, give him a yellow card. Fair enough, it was a yellow card. But I'm looking at the tackle that he made on Odegaard, and then the second tackle he made 3 minutes later on Declan.
Yeah.
And the referee's waving it away. Right. I'm like, come on, man.
And the thing is as well, I think because both, I think we got to take into account as well, Norm, if they were both close together, if they weren't so close together, say if that was 20 minutes later, he may have sent him off.
Yeah.
Well, I think they were so close, literally 3 or 4 minutes apart. I think that if he sends him off, like the players are going to say, oh, you know what? He's allowed one after you yellow carded him for the Odegaard. So sometimes the refs will give you one and say, you know what, son, any more of that, you're gone. Because you want a yellow card.
Yeah.
And I think that's what he did there. When in truth, he should have, if he wasn't sure, he should have just gone to the screen.
Yeah.
And this is where you want VAR to jump in and say, that was a little dangerous there. You may want to look at that one.
Yeah.
But then, as you know, the moment he goes to the screen, puts a lot of pressure on himself. And he's probably having flashbacks to previous referees in earlier weeks and the clangers they've dropped. And he just thought, this sending off completely changes the dynamics of the game.
Yeah.
And for me, I think he's bottled it on. Even though you won, because if you didn't win, that's even a bigger talking point.
Yeah.
If you hadn't won that game.
Yeah.
Or City.
But then, with all that said, though, D, I'm glad we beat them with 11 men on the pitch. Because I know what Man City would have come back with and say, oh, you only beat us with 10 men. No, we beat with 11 men on the pitch. And I heard a lot of Man City fans moaning away and saying, oh, we didn't have De Bruyne, we didn't have Stones, we didn't have Rodri. And I'm thinking, hang on a minute. When I saw listen, guys, when I saw the team thing come out, I was thinking, oh my gosh. Right, I'm thinking, my gosh, he's got Eddie Nketiah up front, who does nothing, absolutely nothing. This man, how this guy is wearing the number 14 shirt, £100,000 a week, but I don't get it. Seriously, I don't get it. Yeah?
he's actually stealing a living at your place.
Yeah, man. I don't get it, man. I don't get it. Yeah.
Well,
he was getting in the way of Odegaard. I think there was one incident where he got in the way of, he tackled his own player. I'm like, what?
Right.
How? But I don't know what Arteta sees in him. But listen, at the end of the day, he starts up front, yeah? And then, obviously, in midfield, we had Jorginho. Now, I was a little bit worried because I'm thinking, yeah, he hasn't got the pace or the legs, yeah? And then after that madness that he did against Tottenham, yeah, I was thinking, all right, fair enough. And then I was led to believe that Saka was playing because they gave that impression that Saka was going to play.
Yeah,
the man wasn't even a thing. So they're saying, we didn't have Saka. Martinelli had to come off the bench. Partey came off the bench. Do you know what I mean?
Was he injured? Don't know. Was he carrying on?
No, he was injured before. He was injured. He's just coming back from injury.
Right, yes, yeah, that's right.
But I didn't even think that he was going to make the bench because we didn't hear anything. Right. So when I saw him on the bench, I was like, whoa. But then the impression was that Saka was starting.
But if you remember the week before, Saka came up as injured on Fantasy League.
Yeah.
And I was like, do I leave him in? And I just gambled and left him in, and he started him. So when I saw it again, I said, this is them playing games. He's going to start again. So I was shocked that he didn't start.
Yeah.
In that sense. So it's like, and maybe he called it himself. Maybe he said, boss.
I mean, some people are saying that I think he might have failed a fitness test, so they would have probably just assessed it, and because he was still being assessed. And as a result of that, he didn't make the side. And to be honest, I'm glad he didn't, because the worst thing would happen is for him to come on and then make that injury even worse than what it is. Yeah. You know what I mean? So, but listen,
operation, then
Man City were crying and saying whatnot. Man City were crying and whatnot. But I'm saying, listen, you listen. You bought 170 million pounds worth of players off the bench. Yeah. Come on.
And you have to remember as well, Norm, like Man City in recent years don't really know how to lose. So when they do lose a high-profile game, then it's hard to be humble about it.
Yeah.
Sometimes you just got to shake hands and acknowledge that you just got outfought. Yes, it may have been a deflected goal, but the ball still went in. So for me,
and that's it. And that's why. Listen, sometimes you have to create your own luck. And we done it.
Exactly. And there is, and as we always talk about, there is an element of luck to winning the Premier League, to winning any cup competition. You get a good run, you get favourable home draws or whatever. So there is an element of luck within football. People always say there's no, but there is luck, and if you ride your luck, like with us, we rode our luck on Saturday.
And
so for me, we had no business getting 3 points, in my opinion. But here we are.
We'll come to your game. We'll definitely come to your game. So listen. I'm glad we've done it. We've got the monkey off our back. Now, hopefully, going forward now, you know what I mean? And first time keeping a clean sheet this season, and it's against Man City as well. You know, all the other games that we played at home, apart from the Champions League game where we won 4-0 against PSV. Who's PSV?
PSV.
Yeah, you know, winning that 4-0. But I just hope going forward now that mentality and that monkey's off the bat now. We've got that mentality now to go into games now. We should be dealing with teams now that, you know what I mean, that especially teams are going to come to the Emirates and play that low block. And we have to have the players, with the quality players, to be able to break them down and do that. So hopefully going forward now, it puts us in good stead. It's fantastic because we go into another international break winning our game. The last time we went to the international break was when I think we beat you.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
you know what I mean? So it's all good. It's all good.
Both Manchester teams going into the international break.
Yeah. And we've played. That's what I'm trying to say. We've played. Listen, look. Tottenham are up there. Yeah, they haven't played. They've played a lot of the relegation fodder. That's why they're where they are now. We've yet to play the relegation fodder. We've played you. We played Tottenham, and we played Man City.
Man City, yeah.
So you know what I mean. So I'm kind of glad going forward.
So for you, obviously Newcastle, Chelsea, Liverpool.
Yeah, that's our next game when we come back. I mean, that's going to be a tough game. Now that Chelsea have found a bit of form.
Newcastle or Chelsea?
Chelsea we play next.
Chelsea,
away to Chelsea, and then I think Sheffield United and then Newcastle or somewhere in there. But I just think now that, you know, that we're going to be buoyed by this win. Do you know what I mean? And I think we'll have probably most of our core players back, like Saka, like Martinelli, fully fit to start that game. And Martinelli always seems to do well when he plays against Chelsea. So I'm hoping for him to start in that game and just making sure that we keep our two defenders, William Saliba, the brick wall, and Gabriel. They're like a brick wall right now. One of the probably best Premier League defender pairing in the league at the moment. Do you know what I mean?
Gabriel was a player that he benched at the start of the season, right?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah, because I didn't get what was going on there.
No, it's just Arteta trying to be smart, and I don't know why. Yeah, just stick with what you know and stop complicating the thing. Yeah. And basically, you can see they were rock. I mean, they had Ireland, who had again XG against us. He was frustrated. Did you see when? Did you see when my man bodied him? Did you see when? Saliba. They were side by side. And Saliba just say, "Yo, come out my way." Yeah, what are you doing? Just behave yourself. Man just got floored. You understand? So I'm glad about our centre backs. We just got to hope that they stay fit for the rest of the season. Listen, when we lost Saliba towards the end of last season, I think that attributed to us falling off. Apart from,
that hit you badly because you were playing. What's his name?
Holding.
Foster, not Foster.
Holding.
Yeah. That wasn't. And
that wasn't
good.
I would have rather him. We bought Kivia. That's what I'm saying. We spent nearly 20 million on Kivia, and he decides to play holding.
Yeah.
And then we go to the Etihad, and you knew exactly what was going to happen. And holding got. Listen, man, he got put in a spliff, as some people will say. He got put in a spliff. You know what I mean? But it is what it is. So we come out 1-0 winners. And long may it continue, mate. Long may it continue. And obviously going on to the Brighton and Liverpool game, as I said, in that game, we kind of touched on it a little bit. Brighton, a mistake for McAllister hasn't really had a great start at Liverpool, I don't think, personally speaking.
He's been quite inconsistent, hasn't he?
Yeah, he's had a couple, sending off. I mean, obviously, I know that got rescinded.
And I suppose as well,
he made a mistake for the first goal.
Yeah. But you have to remember, Norm, the level up, him going to Liverpool, it's a huge leveling up, and it's like anything. You know what I mean? You get there. This is Anfield, right? You walk into that stadium, you got them Scousers going absolutely nuts.
Yep.
And you got to perform, and so every time you make a mistake, and the crowd go, that's pressure on his shoulders.
Szoboszlai, the other player that they got in, who settled in really well and scoring goals. Yeah, definitely. Somebody that we was linked with as well.
I think he may be just a little bit of stage fright as he's settling in, which is understandable because he's gone to a huge club, and the way he's under a magnifying glass now, he wasn't under that magnifying glass at Brighton. Yeah. So he has to just get his head straight, try and make as little mistakes as possible as he beds himself in. I think he'll be fine for them. But the pressure is just huge. It's totally different. And I would say that if you go to any of them big clubs, once you go to a home game and that crowd is up for it.
Yeah. Big up Static, mate. Take care, mate.
Yeah, take care, guy. Yeah, man. And you look at that and you say, man, I'm not sure about this. And can I handle the pressure? And I think that's where he's at the moment. Just getting used to the Anfield pressure of succeeding, basically.
Yeah.
And not being under that sort of pressure or microscope at Brighton. As good as Brighton play, the football they play is good. He was under nowhere near the pressure at Brighton.
No, absolutely. Look, Liverpool come back. Mo Salah. I mean, the defending was just terrible in that game. You could see it coming over a mile. I don't know. These guys, Brighton are really open and they're quite easy to score against. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. And obviously, just coming off the back of their European exploits in where I think they were. I can't remember where was it Marseille? I think it was Marseille they're playing. They had to come from behind to draw that game 2-2. But Liverpool come from behind, a brace from Salah. Getting the first goal to level up, and then a penalty to make it 2-1. But as you said, D, it's their defense, mate. They literally from a set piece. I think it was a free kick set piece.
Yes,
I think it was Dunk that scored.
Yeah. Is he in the England squad? No, Lewis Dunk.
I think he is, you know.
Is he?
I think he is. I'm sure.
You know?
Yeah, he is. I mean, I like him. I like him. He's big, tall. You know what I mean? But you know what I mean. But I'm looking at Saliba. I mean, I liked him before we got Saliba, and it was someone who I said would, or even like I was thinking if we wanted more strength and depth, get rid of Holding and bring in something like a Dunk. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Yeah. But as I say, we'll have to see what happens if we. I think in the summer.
The thing is, him being in the England squad as well, and his form's been good over the last 2 seasons. You actually expect someone big to come in for him now.
Yeah,
I really could get a big move in the summer.
Yeah,
it's probably going to cost you a fortune because it's just what it is.
Yeah, that's what it is. Yeah. So
I look at him coming to United. Obviously, as I just said, with what's his name, with McAllister, the pressure of coming to a bigger club. You know what I mean? The nervousness of all that. Yeah. Then we'll see. But I think mentally, he looks like a mentally strong player. It's someone that I would take a chance on because if you look at it, like we've got Harry Maguire and Johnny Evans. You know what I mean? Playing for us now. So you look at that as in squad depth, defender-wise, we haven't got it. And we should have brought a centre back in, and we didn't. So someone like Lewis Dunk is a good shout, I think, you know?
Yeah. But yeah, so look, Liverpool end up drawing that game. But as I said, going forward, Liverpool have got the strike force to do a lot of damage. They'll score a lot of goals, but I think they will also concede as well. So they really need to address that defensive side of their game. You know what I mean? And we'll see. But I do feel that they will be in there challenging.
Yeah. The trophy. They have 5 attacking options that I feel will all get double figures this season.
Yeah.
That just makes them dangerous. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like I say, he can afford to take off Mo Salah and still get goals, which is very, very much ideal in terms of the attacking prowess that they have. So for me, you can't sleep on Liverpool, even though they're a bit shaky at the back. They've still got a very good goalkeeper as well. Goalkeeper's
definitely.
He hasn't got the best defence in front of him, but he does bail him out a lot.
Definitely. Some of the saves that he's pulled off this season absolutely been phenomenal against Tottenham. Do you know what I mean? But obviously, that own goal just, you know what I mean? It's just a shame, but it is what it is. We'll just move on to West Ham, Newcastle. Fantastic start from West Ham. They're doing well under Moisey. Tomas Susek, if I can say his name, getting a goal in the 8th minute, 1-0. A lot of yellow cards in this game as well. A lot of yellow cards in this game. And then Mr. Isak getting a brace in the 57th minute. And then
he's looking
he's looking. I mean, again, we was linked with him. Do you know what I mean? He's a different kind of, very rangy kind of striker, tall, but he's skillful. Yeah. He's got good skillful and he's quick, and he can score all sorts of goals. Do you know what I mean? And he gets the first goal in the 57th minute, and then he gets the assist from Kieran Trippier to make it 2-1 in the 62nd minute. And then you're thinking, right, okay, they left it quite late. He brought on Mohamed Kudus in the 76th minute, and that really paid off because, again, he was a player that we wanted. Guy that's from Ajax, I think they paid 40-odd million for him. And he comes on and gets the equaliser to make it 2-2. So they go, late on. Now, the thing is, obviously, Newcastle coming out of slapping up PSG. Did you watch that game?
No, I just saw the highlights of it. I didn't watch the game, but I saw the highlights.
Right.
That was a shocker for me. I didn't even see that one.
Unbelievable. But some people were saying that PSG disrespected Newcastle because they came and played. I can't remember what system they played, but whatever it was, it basically fell apart. You know what I mean? You got Mbappe in that side. You know what I'm saying? And I think they went. I don't know if they went with a front four or whatever it was, but unfortunately, Newcastle were rampant that day with their fans at that ground, mate. It was a sight to be seen, mate. You know what I mean? And they win that game 4-0. So obviously, coming away from that game, you're thinking they're going to be really buoyed going into the West Ham game. But this is the thing, Newcastle again haven't got the biggest squad either.
Yeah,
you know
and getting used to bring back to the Champions League now.
Exactly.
Takes a lot out of them. Yeah.
And that group, funny enough, was obviously we know it's the group of death, but I think they're actually topping the group right now.
Yeah, they're topping. Yeah,
they're topping the group. Do you know what I mean? But listen, as I said, they go away to West Ham and get a draw, and so so I think come January we'll see whether they're looking to bolster again. I think they're linked with Calvin Phillips.
I heard that.
Yeah, I heard that they're linked with Calvin Phillips. So
you look at him and you think you're an England international. Where's your ambition, my guy? Like, what's he been there now? 2 years at City now?
Calvin, probably. But I think he might make a move in January.
He should have gone in the summer.
He's not getting no game time whatsoever.
Clearly don't fancy him. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. He's not, but listen, Eddie Howe's doing a good job with Newcastle.
Yeah, he is.
So, you know what I mean? I do take my hat off to him. Do you know what I mean? He's got a nice settled side there, a good balanced side there. Do you know what I mean? And they're all playing for him. They're all playing for him. They're all playing for the badge. And it's a nice place to be at. Do you know what I mean? The crowd and everything, it's a nice place to be at, Right, sorry, I've got my wife shouting in the background. So apologies to anybody that's listening. Okay. Right. Wolverhampton 1, Aston Villa 1.
This is actually great.
Pedro Neto getting the votes as well. But Hao Hin-chan, the South Korean, scoring in the 53rd minute. Again, an assist from Pedro Neto. And then 2 minutes later, I think the celebration, you needed to focus, man. Paul Torres gets the assist from Ollie Watkins to make it 1-1.
But this is when you're most vulnerable after you've just scored.
Yeah, you got to focus.
Coaches know this now, that because you lose your focus because of the goal,
and that happened with us against Tottenham. You know what I mean? We scored a penalty, and then 2-2s, man. It's 2-2. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
It's ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. Absolutely
and
ridiculous.
You think that teams know this now.
Yeah.
That you're most vulnerable when you've just scored.
Yeah.
And still you see quick, you know what I mean? 53rd and 55th minute. I'm like, ridiculous.
Yeah.
You just got to stay focused,
Yeah, no. But so that game ends up as a 1-1. And we move on to the games that were on Saturday. So we're working backwards, people. And this is your team there, Mr. Calvin. Luton 0. No, Luton did well to hold off. I mean, the chances. Listen, won that game 10-0. Yeah, the chances, and there was a miss. There was a miss from I think it was Adebayo. How he missed that goal to make it 1-0. I think it was in the second half, if my memory serves me right. Tottenham then go down to 10 men.
10 men,
because Basuma gets a second yellow card for the assimilation. And you're thinking, come on, Luton, just hold out, man. Do you know what I mean? Hold out, and then hopefully, you'll get a draw against a good side like Tottenham. They are playing well. But listen, Maddison, again, nice bit of skill on the byline, and then
we slipped on him, no. And we spoke about it in the summer, didn't we? We spoke about Maddison in the summer. We spoke about Ward-Prowse in the summer. And you think that someone's got to pull the trigger on one of these two.
Yeah.
And here we go. Both doing well in their new clubs.
Yeah. I mean, Basuma's, obviously under Conte, didn't really feature much, and maybe just because he didn't trust him. Obviously injuries as well, but since playing under on the Postecoglou, he's doing really quite well with them. Yeah. But listen, as I said, with Spurs, they have got a paper-thin squad. So if they lose any of those key players, like people are like when they lost Basuma, like a lot of the Tottenham fans were losing it because like he's integral to that side. Do you know what I mean? But it was their It was their defender. In the this, let me look at the live ticker. It was their defender.
52nd minute, right?
What's that?
52nd minute, the goal.
Not the goal that he scored. Was it in the
52nd minute? Mickey van der Ven.
Was it the 52nd minute?
Yeah, 52nd minute.
Was that towards the end?
No, 52nd minute he scored. Assist by James Maddison.
Oh, wait, you know what? Why did I think he scored towards the end of the game?
Nah, 52nd minute.
You're right.
And then obviously there was.
You're right, you know.
And then there was loads of subs. From Luton. They tried to change it up quickly. They made 4 subs very quickly.
So Mickey van der Ven, and that guy is quick, you know. He's tall, but he's quick. He's quick, man. He's quick, man. Lightning quick. And they make it 1-0, and then they had to, basically hold out for the rest of the game. I thought they scored towards the end of the. Do you know what? 52nd minute.
Yeah, and then because as soon as they score, then they made 4 changes quite quickly.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I don't know. I think I'm probably so used to Spurs scoring last-minute goals. That's probably why I've got that in my head. You know what I mean? I've probably got that in my head. Yeah. But yeah, listen, they go on and win that game, and obviously that stays them, keeps them top of the league. And then we have Chelsea away to Burnley. Yeah. Again, Burnley score first in this game, I believe.
It is. I'm looking at this Burnley thing right now.
Yeah.
And he didn't get much money to spend, did he?
No.
And I remember people say, "Oh yeah, he'd be sacked by Christmas," but why? Why? If he hasn't got any money to spend, then you come in the Premier League with the squad that won you the championship. Why would you fire him at Christmas? You know what I mean? But
I think
get a few wins.
I think with Vincent, I don't know. I mean, because he said he's going to continue playing the way he's going to play.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? But
that's what had him play. The team played so well. Yes, it's the Premier League. You got to tweak a little bit, but if you ain't spent any money, then I don't see the point in firing him because owners are saying, "Do what you can do. If we stay up, we stay up."
Yeah,
and this is typical Burnley. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
After what they let Sean Dyche get away with for all them years, then it tells you there's no ambition there.
You know the thing is, if that was a Sean Dyche side and they went 1-0 up, I don't think Tottenham win that game.
Chelsea.
Sorry, Chelsea win that game. Based on the way Chelsea have been playing.
It's the part of the bus hard.
Yeah.
And leave the striker on the halfway line and literally sitting at 4 bags of 4. And say, break this down. We're 1-0 up.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So
yeah. And obviously they relied a lot on their set pieces and that. Whereas companies got, Burnley playing fluid football. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, he's just saying, right, go out and
are you still in Cape Verde, bro? It's not on tonight, man. He's not on tonight, bro. He's had other commitments, so he's not on tonight. But big up to you. What's that? Big up to you, bro. Hope you're still enjoying yourself.
I know, he's about Kofi. He says Ez, but he means Kofi.
Oh, is it Kofi?
Yeah, he says Ez, but he means Kofi, doesn't he? He says, "Where's my Liverpool bro, Ez?" But he means Kofi.
Oh, right, okay. Yeah, because Ez would take offence to that. Ez is a Chelsea supporter, mate. So you need to correct yourself, brother. Correct yourself. But so in this game, Wilson, Odibert scoring in the 15th minute.
Yeah.
And then after that, there was an own goal. I think Sterling was cutting down I don't know if it was down the left. I think it was down the left, and I don't know if he crossed it in, and then he ended up getting an own goal. I didn't actually watch the match in its whole entirety. And then a penalty, and Cole Palmer, ex-Man City, making it 2-1.
That he took the penalty, because he just got there. He just got there.
I know. I found that quite interesting as well.
Yeah, I thought, how are you doing your penalties?
I found that quite interesting. And then Raheem Sterling making it 3-1.
Yeah.
And then Nicholas Jackson making it 4-1. So Chelsea are now starting to find their shooting boots.
Find their goals, really.
Yeah, but
to be fair, even what Ed was saying, they haven't been playing bad football, but like us, they hadn't been clinical.
Yeah.
And so this was them being clinical against a very average Burnley team that are playing their own expansive football, but not changing it because they've moved up a level in leagues. And like I say, he ain't spent any money, so just let him play football.
Yeah.
And however it falls, doesn't it? If he scrapes in, he stays in. If he gets relegated, so be it. They've got the firepower to come straight back up again, playing the football that they play. You get the parachute. Nothing's really lost.
No, it's a shame that he didn't get the money to bolster and strengthen his side. So he's just got to work with what he's got. But I think when you're in the Premier League now, as I said, that will probably work because they literally obliterated the Championship. But
exactly,
when you come to the Premier League, it's a different.
You're guaranteed that company will be saying the right things to them. Will be trying to implement the right things within the training, but I think they just lack the quality all over the pitch. Not in the sense of they're a poor team, but when you don't have that quality, it's just going to be hard to go up another gear when you need to. And then, when I watched the highlights, you saw Chelsea go up another gear, and they couldn't really live with them. You know what I mean? And remember, this is a young Chelsea squad, as keeps saying. You know what I mean?
Yeah. They're inexperienced, and they've got. Listen, I was reading an article. They've got £400 million worth of players injured. £400 million worth of players injured.
That would be nice. Yeah, it would be
absolute madness, bro. Absolute madness. But listen, James. Sorry, I've just moved off to the Chelsea game to the Everton Bournemouth game. Everton at last getting a win at home because they've been doing too well at home. We can see
3 goals as well.
Yeah, winning that game 3-0 against Bournemouth. First goal from James Gardner, and then Jack Harrison, who's on loan from Leeds.
Jack Harrison is the guy at Leeds right now.
He's on loan from Leeds.
He's on loan from Leeds.
Yeah.
See, that's why I thought that was the same Jack Harrison. Yeah. I didn't realise he'd gone there. Okay, I missed that one. Okay.
And then Jack Harrison getting an assist as well for Abdul Doucouré, making it 3-0. And they come up comfortable winners in that game. And winning that game 3-0. So listen, I think if West Ham sort out their home form, then they won't be in the conversation for at the start of the season. We were saying they're in the conversation, but I think as it stands now, the teams that are likely to go back down is Luton, Burnley, and Sheffield United. The same three that came up, I think it's going to be the same three that's going to go back down unless something drastically changes with one of those clubs. So, I mean, Sheffield United right now, I think the only team. I think in terms of points wise, they've only got 1 point. I think 1 point. They've drawn one game, so they've played 8. They've played 8. So out of a possible 24 points, they've gone 1 point, mate. Yeah, and they've got a goal difference of -16 already, and it's only 8 games in.
For me, you just enjoy the experience of the Premier League, don't you?
Yeah, I think
there's no real turning around on that form.
Yeah,
you are going to be on a hide into nothing, and I don't know. Is it hard to motivate players knowing that you're already relegated? And that's a bit hard.
And that's it. Because what would the manager be told? You know what I'm trying to say? So, yeah. But listen, I think Everton will stay up unless if one of the other teams like Burnley find a bit of form. I think out of the two sides, Burnley will probably be the one to be closest to Everton. Do you know what I mean?
Right, yeah.
When you've got that 6, they call it the 6 point, I think, kind of thing. Because if you look at the table, you've got Everton on 7 points, Burnley on 4,
and Luton on 4 as well.
Yeah. But I think Burnley are more likely to catch Everton. Do you know what I mean? So Everton are still languishing. 2 places above the relegation zone. So
even Brentford, Norm. I mean,
Brentford haven't been. They are
really missing out on the
I think they miss Ivan Toney, and there's obviously talk about Ivan Toney. He's interested in coming to Arsenal. I know Chelsea are interested in him, but
That
Arsenal
could be a game changer for you, no?
Yeah, 100%, 100%.
If he comes to you, that's a problem,
Yeah, because
that's
the thing is with Arsenal, is that's I think is the key thing that's missing from our strike force, because you've got Jesus up there. Listen, I love his work rate. I love what he does in terms of just disrupting and keeping occupying defenders, but he's not a clinical finisher. Get an Ivan Toney in there, and I think
this is the thing, no. In January,
we won Man City close. Get another midfielder, right, attacking midfielder to back up Saka. Yeah, 2 players. I think get 2 players in January. Yeah, I don't think we will bolster the defense again unless they find some gem somewhere or whatever. Right, but I think as it stands, I think we need 2 to 3 players in January. Let's go out and get those players to bolster that side.
If you look at this, Norm, like if you try and do that business in January, I think you're looking at 75, 80 million for Ivan,
that's what Brentford are asking. Now, if Ivan is pushing it, right? I mean, listen, that's what the price has been quoted that Brentford would let 80 mil. I think if Arsenal get in there, do a little bit of a negotiation with him, chucking Eddie Nketiah in there as well. Eddie Nketiah at a cool 50 to 60 mil. I think we could get the job done.
Oh, I don't know about that. No,
I'll pray for that to happen, but I don't know whether that'll happen.
The only reason why Brentford won't want to get relegated. So if they then they'll say, if we have to lose him, then we've got to lose him at big money.
Yeah,
that will allow them to get.
I think for Brentford
close.
Yeah, I think for Brentford to sort of look at their situation and go, right, okay, can we afford to let Ivan Toney go in January? If they're still not winning games as they should, and they're kind of languishing in the bottom half of the table, then they might say to themselves, you know what, Ivan, just give us this season, keep us up, and then go in the summer. But if they start to pull away from the relegation zone and they start to pick up a bit of form and whatnot, and everything's good, then, as I said, a cool 60 million plus Eddie Nketiah, you know what I mean? I'm sure they will take that. But as I said, it's going to be one of those ones because it's harder to get players, obviously, in January, as we know. It's going to be more expensive.
If you look at Eddie as well, he actually might go there and do well because there's just less pressure there.
Exactly.
Yeah, he actually might go there and be all right. And then Arsenal fans will say, well, he weren't doing that for us, but there's less pressure there.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, yeah.
So we'll see. We'll see what happens there. But let's move on to the Fulham Sheffield United game. Now, I don't know if you saw it. I know Chile posted it on our chat, and the game had to end up in the first half playing an extra 14 minutes. The player that got injured. In that game.
He snapped his ankle or whatever.
Yeah.
That looked gruesome, didn't it?
Jeez.
There's still. I mean, obviously, I'm not see the video, but there's still.
As he's running, it's just buckled and it's just literally. Mad, man.
Horrible injury.
Yeah. Boy, it's crazy, but.
That could be career-ending as well.
It could be because when you looked at that, you're thinking,
yeah, it's hard to set that. Remember, who was it? Coventry City player back in the day that had a similar injury, and that was it. Career over.
Really? Wow. And the thing about it
is back now.
Yeah, the thing about it is that old mentality thing as well. Yeah, it's all that mentality thing because when you go back to play now. You're not too sure. Is that going to give way again? Or if somebody goes in for a tackle, you don't know. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So...
you know what? A ex-telecom colleague of mine snapped his ankle like that skiing. And to this day, he's got the pins and the metal plates in his ankle. There. Yeah, the way they broke it, he said that was the only way to make it look as normal as possible, is to put the pins and the plates in. So if he has pins and plates, they'll tell him that he can't play football again. Just right now. Wow. Horrible break. I was like, wow. When I saw that, I just felt sick. I was like, my Lord.
Cool. But look, in that game, Bobby Reed or DeCrafter, is it Bobby Decordova?
Yeah, Dakota. Yeah.
Mr. Bobby Reed.
Yeah.
I think he scores the first goal in the 53rd minute. Then there was a own goal from Anthony Robinson, and then another own goal from West Ferdinand. Ferdinand, if I can pronounce his name. And they end up losing that game. 3-1. Sorry. The own goal was an own goal for Fulham, and then Willian got the winner. Well, not the winner, but basically sealed it to make it 3-1 in the injury time. So Sheffield United, it's not looking good for them at all, D. It's not looking good at all for them. You know what I mean? And I don't know whether if they will sack the manager. Do you think they will sack him?
The thing is, I don't see the point though. If they, just like with Burnley. If they come up and they don't spend much money, you have to just take what you get. And then take them, you know what I mean? You get the money for being in the Premier League. You don't allow them to spend money to strengthen. They're getting slapped every week. Yeah. To fire the manager, that'd be disgraceful, in my opinion, because it's not like he's gone out and spent 160 million in the summer and then he's still performing like this. Yeah. Same with
I mean, if the owner has given the manager X amount and he's failed with that.
Then that's different, isn't it? It's a different.
Then he's going to say, I'm holding you accountable. But if you're not giving me no money, what are you expecting me to compete
in the Premier League now?
In the Premier League, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, so it's unrealistic settings, isn't it?
I mean, both him and Klopp. I keep saying Klopp. Company could probably end up going back down anyway with their sides. And get the parachute payment. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, because if you look at it as well, they've probably both got 2 years plus left on their contracts. You're going to fire them, pay up their contracts, and then still have to put a manager in on decent money because he's in the Premier League. So if he hasn't spent anything, for me, I'm like, just let them be. However they get on, they get on. They'll win their game here and there. Yeah. They may scrape it because someone else has just been just as poor. But to fire them and to fire them before Christmas as well, if you're going to fire them, you've got to fire them by Christmas. So that way the new guy comes in and then you're going to give the new guy some money to spend in January.
Absolutely. Yeah.
What's the point?
Yeah. Absolutely.
You just wasted money paying off a manager that you could have used to purchase some players and strengthen the squad or make the squad or make the first 11 better. So I look at that and say, for Brentford and Sheffield, you've got to give them a blight. And however it crumbles for them, it crumbles for them. Because both teams, in theory, could come straight back up.
Yeah.
Season after, if they got relegated this season. But like I said, Sheffield look like they're already done. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
1 point is just not good enough, is it?
No, definitely not. But let's quickly move on to your team, Man United 2, Brentford 1. And as I said, McSauce and Maguire coming to the rescue. Eric Ten Hag gets another stay of execution.
It's like McSauce, Tommy McSauce.
Is it the 90? What was it? The 93rd minute and the 97th minute.
Yeah,
it was looking a bit peak, mate.
Yeah, 93, 90. But I look at it again, right? And we spoke about this. I think I spoke about this every week. Shaw in Bruno in on the right wing doesn't work for me. When he was playing Amrabat at left back, foolishness. It's like, bro, this is Man United. Play the players in their position, and then we can judge it properly. And this is the problem. When you spend 62 million on Everest, and you give Bruno the captain's armband, in his mind he can't drop either of them, regardless of form. I think Bruno's been awful this season. I really do. Yes, he's a passion merchant, but a lot of times you run around like a headless chicken. It's like, bro, you're the captain. Relax a minute. Put your foot on the board and look up. Everything doesn't have to be a Hollywood pass. It's frustrating to watch them. I was chatting to JP. He'll tell you how many voice notes we sent each other through that game, just losing our minds, saying, what is this? This is Man United, bro.
Yeah.
The thing is, it almost feels like, like people are saying that the badge is too heavy for a lot of the players, Onana and some of the players. It feels like the whole club is too heavy for Ten Hag. That's what it feels like. Because
this is what I'm trying to say. I mean, I was listening to Talk Sport, and they were basically saying this because they answered about if there's more leaks that there's more leaks coming out, or who's leaking out information. They want to find out who's coming out and saying, because basically what they're saying that the players are not happy at all with Erik Ten Hag. They're not happy the way he treated Ronaldo, and he's not happy. They're not happy the way they're treating Sancho right now as it stands. So who's leaking this out? Who's leaking this out?
Well, the thing is, before everyone, you remember before it was always they were putting it on Dean Henderson, and they were putting it on Harry Maguire because he was benched as the captain. And but now, if you look at it now, like there could be a level of he has lost maybe 70% of the dressing room. That's what I'm hearing. Because if you look at the final whistle, Rashford, Casemiro, these are the spines. The spine of this team look furious, Norm, even though we won the game. And that tells you everything you need to know. That they just look just fixing their face. And I was watching that, I'm saying, that ain't good. So as much as what he's trying to pin on Sancho, having him train with the academy kids, it's not just Sancho that's disgruntled. Because what it is, right, he's trying to make out that now he's got Sancho away from the first team squad, that they're training better. How are we training better when we're barely winning games? You know what I mean? So you look for a scapegoat to take some pressure off himself. And it's poor man management. And I look at that and feel like he's going to have to die on the sword. And I mean the Onana sword, the Everett sword, the Bruno sword. Rashford to a point. When Rashford's form is poor, he leaves him on there. Now he's been pulling him of late, but he's not pulling him to 70-odd minutes, 75th minute, 80th minute, he's pulling Rashford when he's been poor all game. Now, when the spine looked disgruntled like the spine does, I think Scott saved his job on Saturday. I think if we had lost that game Saturday, and you get booed at Old Trafford again, I don't know how he comes back from that, because I don't even know what he says in that press conference if we lose that game. If Scott, he'll say he was a masterstroke. Now, I don't know if you know this, right, Norm. Scott McTominay was a striker in the academy.
I heard that. I did hear something like that.
And they forced him into this number 6 role. You know, the McFred double pivot thing. That's never him. And you see the goals he gets for Scotland.
Yeah,
I know Scotland. You know what I mean? I know it's Scotland. I'm not. But you see the goals he gets, and then you say, to be fair, the kid was a striker, because even the first goal, he's pull down touch and bang in one goal. That's a striker's finish. But,
I didn't get to see the goals. I didn't get to see the goals.
The first goal he took well.
The
first goal, I thought the control and literally just put his laces through it in one movement. And I said, that's a
I heard that when when he equalised, that Erik Ten Hag on the sidelines was absolutely ecstatic from what because in his mind, I made the right sub to win the game rather than you got it horribly wrong. Yeah. And that's what I don't like about him, is that there's got to be some self-awareness as a coach to say, Scott got me out of jail here. Yeah. And then he's giving, better than money, he wanted Scott gone in the summer. Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying.
And then you're giving the big talk about, he knows what it's like to play for the badge. Hold on, mate. You wanted him gone. Shut up. And that's what I don't like. He's been a hypocrite, Norms. And I get these managers lie to save face and save their job. But I would expect if he just said, listen, I think I got it horribly wrong today. I made the Scott call and I told him, go forward and see what we can do here. I'd respect that more than trying to make out that I had a masterstroke by bringing Scott on. He got us 2 goals late on and we got the 3 points. He's trying to behave like we were good. We weren't good, no. And hence why I'm giving Juve some love today. You know what I mean?
I know. I was going to ask you about the shirt.
Yeah, man. Give Juve some love today, man. I think Juve won convincingly at the weekend.
Yeah. How long did you give this guy?
The thing is, right, I think the international break has given him like I said to you, if he had to play this weekend, I think he might have come and stopped Nom. Because he got away with one. And then it's like, okay, do I start Scott? Now he's come off the bench and got me a brace. And do I bench Bruno or Everest or one of them guys?
Yeah.
And the answer is no. He's going to die on that sword. And because even now, I look at Onana and I think mentally, just get him out of there, just for a month.
I heard that De Gea's in Manchester at the moment.
Well, this is the thing, right? And literally, he came back to
that's the
clear out belongings and all that.
And I think he went to watch the women's game as well.
He goes to watch Man United women play.
Yeah.
I mean, come on, bro. Nobody's coming for you.
PR, man.
If we pull at Johnny Evans, where we say, David, come back and train and get yourself into fitness, and then 2-2s, you give him this little short-term contract to Christmas, then I'm done with him because he was the one that canned him. Yeah. And I'm not saying David De Gea is going to progress us. I don't think we win the league with either of these goalkeepers right now. Whether you got the Gea back in, but we've got a backup goalkeeper that I would like to see, Norm. Because he can't be any worse, Norm, can he? Surely.
Yeah. Where's he from again?
Oh my gosh. I was going to say Turkey, but I don't think it's Turkey.
I think he came from one of them Turkish sides. I know
Turkish teams, yeah.
I can't remember what his name is.
But I look at it, Norm, and I'm just like, this guy. It's almost like he's blagging it, Norm. That's what I feel like. He's blagging it, and he's getting away with it. Because that's what Ollie did. Like, individual moments of brilliance got Ollie out of jail so many times. Same for Ten Hag. Because I'm not seeing a system there. I'm seeing players being shown into spots. Surely you play, like Bruno, right? You imagine the left wing guy got booked in the 12th minute, Norm, and he played on that yellow card all game. Nobody went at him. Nobody forced him to make a bad tackle because Bruno is not a natural right winger. You got Pellistri that can run. Even switch Rashford over to the right and say, Marcus, go at this guy. He will fail and get sent off.
Yeah, didn't.
Now, these are the tactical things I don't get.
Is he being found out, D? Come on now. Is he being found out? Because I think his Rats was saying that he got what's the name, done catfish with all this.
Yeah, he said he got catfish by him.
You know what I mean? So I mean, is he really what he's made out to be?
But you know what? One of my guys at work said it's like he went to the club and picked up this really good woman, and then when he got home, she took off the wig, took the eyelashes off, and cleaned the makeup off, and he went,
"What have we done here? What have we done here? Oh my gosh!"
And the thing is, you imagine, I actually think in his mind, he didn't think Old Trafford was as big as Old Trafford was. And if you have a chance to watch the Beckham documentary, right?
I heard that. I heard a lot of people talking about it.
If you have a chance to watch it, and
where can you watch it? Where can you watch it on? Is it Netflix?
Netflix, yeah.
Okay, right, okay.
But it's an absolute not, and you don't have to be a Man United fan to watch this because obviously it speaks about his time at Madrid, his time at Galaxy, his time at AC Milan, and even though they're short in it, but when you see the dynamics of the football club, I mean, there's no way Fergie could run the club then like now. Now he's going to run Man United like that because he wouldn't have it. Like just the way the dynamics is, mental health, everything. You know what I mean? But it's just a good eye opener. I think they've done a very good job of it personally.
I'll have to try and get that. Yeah,
I think in England it's already had 13 million views.
Oh wow!
In England, 13 million already. And it's only just come out, really, just the other day, come out.
Yeah.
But I look at this for Ten Hag and I feel in his mind, he didn't think Man United was as big as it really is. And he's in a pressure cooker. And you have to remember, it's not a well-run club. We're not well-run, though. So not being well-run, crappy owners, and players that will down tools in a heartbeat.
Yeah. And they've done it with a number of managers, you know what I mean?
Yeah. And then the drama.
Yeah.
There's never a week where we don't discuss Man United drama. You've got Anthony's missus now on a plane from Brazil to come and speak to the Manchester police. You know what I mean? You got the Sancho said he's not apologising.
Yeah, I think he's looking at Dortmund, isn't it, in January or another club.
You know what he's hoping for, Norm? He's hoping that he gets fired deep down.
Yeah, the thing is, he's saying he wants to go. I think he's saying he wants to go away on loan, right?
Yeah,
he prefer a loan move, weigh up his options. That weighing up his option is basically get this man at the club, and then I'm back.
Because apparently, Juventus are looking at him.
Yeah,
which I don't want to go to Juventus because this is my thing. If you have a player, Norm, at Arsenal that falls out with the manager, and he's hoping that Arsenal perform badly, so that Arteta gets fired. And the new manager brings him back in. He's not the player you want at the club.
Yeah.
No player that's a Man United fan and a player wants your team to perform badly because you've fallen out with the gaffer.
Yeah.
If you want to play football, apologise. Even if you don't mean it, apologise and just get back in. Because he's training with the academy kids.
Yeah.
Right? That's what's going on. Apparently, he was at the youth game in the week watching the youth game.
Right.
Because he got nothing to do. He can't be anywhere near the first team squad.
Yeah,
and so you look at that and you say,
really, mate, it's such a palaver with your team right now. You know what I mean? I tell you what, until you get, and you have to go, you're gonna have to go right to the top to say, like, because the club is not run the way it's meant to be run. This is the offshoots of what you're seeing now. Do you know what I mean? And the madness that's going on.
As much as the Sheikh's got money, the reason why I want the Sheikh because the Sheikh won't be afraid to swing the axe, and I mean even Ten Hag.
Yeah.
If the Sheikh feels this ain't the guy, and now I'm buying the club, he'll follow him.
Well, this Sheikh is going to listen. If the Sheikh comes in, he's going to want a Pep-like manager.
Exactly.
He's going to want a manager of top class. And I personally speaking, from what I've seen of Eric,
he's having me scratch my head because you just can't keep picking certain guys week after week after week, and they're not delivering. And then the guys because this is what they're saying, that the Sancho thing is about how loyal he stayed to Anthony when Sancho could play in that position. And it's like, well, hold on. And not only that as well, he was promised. Sancho wanted to leave in the summer. That's what I'm hearing as well now. Wanted to leave in the summer. They told him he's not going anywhere because he's part of this new regime. Yet Anthony will stink up the joint 3-4 games on the trot and still keep his starting lineup. Where it's not like, oh, we've got no one to play there. That's where Sancho plays. And I think so. He said that's why he said the manager's a liar. He wasn't necessarily lying about the way he was performing in training, but lying about why he's not in the squad.
Okay.
Because he's saying, doesn't matter how I train, this Anthony guy's going to get picked to start every single game. So why am I busting the gut to sit on the bench? So you got to look at Sancho. Yeah, they are spoiled brats. But you got to look at his mentality in it as well to say, well, when I have been training and he's been stinking the joint up, I come in and I look at the board and he's starting again over me. And I'm like, he's not training better than me. He's not playing any better, or he's not creating. And I actually think Sancho is the guy to unlock Haaland. He knows how to play with a bully beef striker like that. He did it with Haaland.
That's right.
At Dortmund. Yeah. So it's not like you have to overthink how to play with the striker that we've got. Yet he can't get a game though. So you got to look at it and say, all of it's a mess. And the manager's got to hold his hands up. He'll die on that sword, mate. On that Mason Mount and Bruno as captain. He'll die on that sword. Because if you think about it, Varane should be captain really, but he just can't stay fit. Well, he doesn't stay fit enough for long periods. Shouldn't really matter, but that's who would have been my captain. Would have been Varane.
Listen, man. The saga continues.
We got away with one on Saturday.
Yeah, definitely, absolutely. Definitely. All right, the last game, and then we're just going to quickly move over to the what's going on predictions. So, Crystal Palace 0, Forest 0.
Yeah.
That's it. Let's move on. It is what it is. But let's move on to the what's going on prediction thing. As you can see, let's make this. Let's see if I can make this bigger. Yeah, that's better. Right. So Ez and Kofi were the only two to get their score, not the scores right, their outcome right, but not the exact scores. So we're all on 5 points. with Chile still out there on 8 points. So it's a fight and tussle for that second, third, fourth, and fifth place. So we're not going to do any predictions for this week because obviously it's the international break. So next week, Wednesday, we will be looking to do predictions for that on that particular show. So yeah, that's basically it at the moment. So Chile's out there on 8 points, Big D on 5, Normski on 5, and Ez Kofi on 5 points.
And you know what, Norm? I was thinking about it the other day that even when we've been picking out, it's very hard to, when you're looking at the matchups and lineups, it's very hard to kind of boy, this one could go, because there's a lot of teams in the middle of the league
that can change.
Are quite consistent now.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
And so these guys could get turned over, but then again, no, they've figured it out. You know what I mean? So it is it's an interesting one.
Yeah.
And I see you got the league up there.
Right.
Yeah, we are. Well, as you can see, we got our Richard Tuck, which is Chile's guy. He breaks the 500-point mark, Norm, which is very impressive.
How's this guy staying out there? I mean, he only got 39 points, but he's got a nice, saleable lead. Yeah.
Well, I mean, and then he's got a bit of a gap now.
Yeah.
From Scott,
Rice Baby,
Del Grady, and Rice Baby. You see that there.
Yeah.
Kofi. Scott. Yeah, me, Kofi, and Ez all dipped a little bit.
Yep.
I'm down to 10th now, so you can't even see me on the screen there.
Yeah.
Jancy. Yeah, she had a dip, Norm.
Big dip.
28 points, man. That's a low one.
Ooh.
Yeah, she had a lot.
Is she at the 400? Is she at the 400 mark yet?
No. She had four injured. She got 4 injured players there. I just clicked on her profile. She got 4 injured players there.
400 points.
After the break, she needs to.
How many points she got?
Sorry.
How many points she got?
She at the moment she's on 387, so she's not far off. But she had the 28 points this game week hurt her, unfortunately.
Yeah. With the injuries and everything. So she's still sitting in 14th.
Now she's 15th now. She dropped.
There. When she watched the playback, she's not watching at the moment. But when she watches the playback, she's not going to.
She's one off the bottom.
Oh dear.
And then but the two at the top are really pushing the boat good. And then obviously Scott's doing well to stay. Del Grady 60 points this week, so that pushed him back into.
Like Cape Verde Sunshine is doing him well, mate.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Cape Verde Sunshine is doing him
well. And then Kofi is 7th. Ez is 9th. I'm 10th.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, so, and then where's Andy? Yeah, Andy's Chile's 12th. So
okay.
Yeah, we're doing all right.
Well, listen, people, thank you for watching and staying with us. As I say, obviously there's only international football that's going on for the next 10 days, so we will find some content to talk about next week. I will probably be doing this show from Wales because I'm going to be in Cardiff somewhere. So I'm going to be Wales doing it from a hotel. I was meant to be in Dubai, but unfortunately, we've had to postpone that trip. So we decided that we're going to stay inland. So next week it will be from a hotel. Hopefully the Wi-Fi. Yeah, I know it would have been nice, man. It would have been nice, but unfortunately, some things cropped up, so we had to cancel it at the last minute. We didn't actually say last minute, you know what I mean? Because I think, we hadn't paid for any flights or nothing like that. But I had to get in contact with the guy that was out there to just let him know that, you know what, it ain't happening. But listen, people, please hit that like button, subscribe, and share if you are new. Thank you to everybody that was in the chat and that was giving their contribution. Really appreciate it. Please, again, smash that like button, subscribe, and share if you're new. And we will see you, hopefully, next week on the What's Going On podcast. Take care and God bless.